All right, let's get going. I think I might. I think I am. I think I am on the right screen. Well, in the meantime, I need to put away some stuff. All right. Hey, Lith. What's up? How you doing? Hope your day has been going well. Ooh. How's your weekend going so far? I'm just waiting for a little bit because I need to set up a few things. Yeah, but how was your day so far? Sorry, I also I had an abrupt ending yesterday. Sleeping most of it. You know, that's fine. I also want to sleep through most of my day, but I'm very likely gonna be ending stream earlier than I would normally do today anyway, because I have a wedding to go to. Especially since I just realized where it is, because I just checked the address, and I didn't realize it. I thought it was gonna be I didn't realize it's gonna be what was it? Gonna be 2 hour a drive away. So it basically means okay, I have to go to bed early, get ready, like a good hour and a half, get ready to drive for 2 hours, be at the wedding, and drive back home for 2 hours. It's gonna be ridiculous. Oh boy. Is my Surrey bot currently down? It looks like it might be down because there's a lot of people going on right now. Give me one moment, Lith. I have to ban that person. Hotspot reborn. Oh yeah, I'm just currently last minute of setup. Well, looks like it's about time to get going because I have a little bit of surprise. Just give him one moment. Hey, Jens, how you doing?
I think it's 6 months since the game came out.
Just
right?
watching Kyle.
5 or 6. I think the game came
Doing
out.
good.
April, so
I'm doing
5
good.
months later, we finally got a good ending.
I'm doing good. Just waiting for Kyle to raid me.
Back soon enough after I set up everything to go for the abolish Emily, get a Evelyn good ending, and abolish Steve. So we're gonna be doing that very soon.
But I'm doing fine. I have been setting up.
And of course, other games to be determined in the future too. Dude, I promise after Emily's away is completely.
Well, yeah, I hope your weekend is going well, Jens.
We can finally work.
What's up, Carl?
The Mother series.
Are you doing well?
And oh gosh, I've been getting followers like hotspots. Oh wait, that hotspot was banned, but there's other people who have been following me during the stream too. Lurkers.
How you doing,
I got
Carl?
more followers this stream, and they don't look like they would.
Thank you for the 10 months, by the way. I'm just waiting for Kyle to raid me because I'm just waiting for it.
Hopefully they're humans. I'm not gonna click on their usernames and find out, but if they are nice, human, good people, then welcome.
Uh-oh.
Until then, I'm DSBB.
Is it just because you did not sleep well?
Soon, as I said. Is Nick stealing my content? What? Let me see. Where's Nick?
Oh, they felt bad too. Oh, okay.
Content. Damn it, Nick knows I'm gonna raid him. Damn it. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. Meta stolen content.
I can't even farm on his channel.
You can't do this, Nick. We're raiding the channel right now. A boss, Nick, dude. What are you doing, Nick? Stealing my...
Yep, there he is. Yep, there he is. All right, that's good. We're done. Good ending, Abolish Jeff. Good job. Also, Carl, I hope you're doing. I hope you're doing all right. Have you been like getting some medicine at the very least? I can't even steal your content, Kyle, because you don't even have channel points on. Took some NyQuil, so I might fall asleep. No worries, Carl. Well, if you're gonna fall asleep, should I like all right, no worries. I was gonna ask about like not Skies of Arcadia. I'm playing 2 Sky games. Either Explorers of Sky or Skies of Arcadia. I was gonna ask if I should like hold off on EOS, because then I could just go to Pokemon Black for tonight. It's either fine either way. I just want to make sure you're okay with that. Anyway, Kyle, how was Emily's Away? I saw that you were cool. Yeah, we'll skip out on EOS for tonight then. But yeah. All right. But Kyle, I saw you that you were beat Emily's Away 3. Also, by the way, I knew you were raiding me since like I was literally coming back from dinner, and then Grace suggested me, and I was like, what? And I was just like, oh, it's like I heard you were then like raid, and it's like, oh, okay then. So if you want to blame someone who gave it away, blame Grace. Also, hey Andre, how you guys doing? Oh yeah, hope you all are doing well, Jens and everyone. Yeah, I'm starting out with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I should be done with this game, like this game. Bleh. No, heck no, I'm not done with this game. I should be done with the first case by today, but because always blame me. I mean, yes. But I should be done with the first case today. Because Carl is not feeling well, we're probably going to skip out on EOS today, which is a bit unfortunate. But no EOS, but we're going to go straight to Pokemon Black, which then that means I might be able to finish it tonight. I was like, because I was explaining to Lith earlier that I'm going to be probably ending stream a bit earlier than I would normally plan. Probably like about 2 hours earlier, mainly because that I didn't realize that the wedding I'm going to tomorrow is happening in a place that is 2 hours away from me. I've just found out today. So basically, I need to go to bed early. I need to wake up. I need to get ready, get my suit and everything, and then drive for 2 hours all the way to the place. So yeah, I'm gonna have a long day tomorrow. Which is a good thing I canceled D&D, because I'm gonna be gone for a while. Thanks for the lark, Mike. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Andre, I hope you're also feeling well because of your hangover and everything. Don't worry about it. I have the same problem with time. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, let's with EOS done, well, EOS canceled for tonight is what I want to say. I mean, that's fine. I've been mainly focusing on finishing up games, which, by the way, I did finish up Miitopia and TCG yesterday, which was actually pretty fun. Laundry. So, yeah, now I just have to finish up Pokemon Black 2, and we got it. I'm actually not hungover, but I did take a little nap after Halo. Which, yeah, Halo ODST at the end was actually pretty fun, to be honest. I hate games that have different audio. But yeah, I'm going to be finishing up the Great Ace Attorney. I know that, by the way, Andre, I know that Space really loves this series, and I really like this series too. I haven't played this since 3 weeks ago. It's like basically, what was it? 28. Yeah, I didn't play this since the 21st of August. So, it's been a little bit for this. Just doing keyboard stuff behind the scenes, so I won't be talking as much, but I'll listen to you in the background. No worries, we'll be concluding this first case. So, brief summary of what happened last time. Basically, Naruhodo. This is basically the prequel to all of the Phoenix Wright games. This is basically Phoenix Wright's ancestor and how he became a lawyer. At the very beginning of this case, he was blamed for murdering a professor in cold blood with a gun. Hey, Luigi, how you doing? Good job. And right now we're trying to, his best friend is trying to save him but instead of him trying, his best friend to defend him, he's defending himself. The Naruhodo is defending himself. So at this point, we're trying to figure out what happened to the whole case. And right now, we found out, like, after going through a bunch of different twists and turns, through like people that say they saw the gunshot fire, people that claim that he was alone and it was clearly us, the main character. We've eventually found out that through all means that there was another person at the table that was purposely kept out of this whole case for some weird reason. And today we're trying to figure out why. On a digital copy, because there's no physical copy in Australia. Oh, that sucks, Lith. Yeah, I got a physical copy, but yeah, I think this is a great game. But I do say, like, I'm going to be playing through this, like, try to go semi-weekly. So I am going to be playing it slower. So if you can go faster than me, then you won't be spoiled as much. But we'll see. I have played, like, the first 2 cases of this in a fan translation. But after that, I don't know anything about it. So obviously, still no spoilers for those who are interested in the story. Also, it's been like 3 weeks. I don't remember what voices I gave to everyone because I wanted to go pretty fast with all this. So we're just gonna restart with voices again because I don't remember. Oh, you finished it already, Lith? Good job. Maybe I can ask for help then, because like if I ever get stuck at certain parts, then definitely I'll ask. But I'll clearly ask for help when I actually get legit stuck. And I plan to not ask for help when it comes to the 3rd case onward and on to the 2nd game as well. Okay, here we go. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. Annyeong, Skull. Yeah, yep, no, my lips are seared. Thanks, Lith. Oh yeah, I'm glad that you're here to at least help me if I ever get stuck. Obviously, with case 1 and 2, I don't remember every single detail, so there may be some points I might skip over or I'm unsure, so that you can, I can probably ask for a quick reminder of what to do there, but obviously for the rest of it, no spoilers until they're revealed. Also, how are you doing, Skull? Muted game credits. Hope the game audio is pretty good, because it's a pretty soft game. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd start finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I'm great. How are you? Just playing this game and seeing how it goes, because I wanted to get back into this game for a while since it's been like 3 weeks, so excited to see the conclusion to this case 1 story. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it! It's terrifying! If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of the courtroom again. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Miss Jezebel Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? Now, this is a thing about Japan having a relationship with Britain where they have a specific treaty. If anything happens with either side, it gets immediately very dangerous. That's why in terms of Japan handling with Great Britain people, it's very, very cautious about a lot of things. That's why when the professor who was shot was Great Britain, this was actually very dangerous. And the student being a Great Britain herself actually shows that there was some conspiring because she is a special student. If it was a Japanese student, this would be a totally different situation. But since it's not, we're in a bit of a problem. I mean that the credit sequence of my stream got muted because I left the song playing. Uh-oh, it just got... Oh, okay, so it's muted on Twitch. Yeah, that can happen. Where the treaty, it is greatly in favor of Britain. Yep, that's true. That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself when on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed that there was a gun lying on the floor. And just after I bent down and picked it up, I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Don't pick up gun, kids. This is, yeah, don't pick up guns. Like, seriously, don't really pick up guns, even if it's like something that you don't intend to use. It's still dangerous in a lot of cases. You'd be caught in many different situations immediately. Oh, I should share my screen for those who want to watch on my Discord. Whoever joins in, at least. And just when I do that, Mike joins in. I don't know if that's Emoto or Mike. Professor Mikotoba. Well, well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an astounding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so, which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I want to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life. I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Bros before study trips. You know what, Lith? That's the bro code. That's probably part of the bro code. rose before anything else. Come to think of it, he did say the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. And it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Okay, so that is Emoto. Got it. Best of luck. Thank you! Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. She said sama! She said sama! Defendant Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back into it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what's hit them. Still, why would you bring a sword into a courtroom? That's illegal in many ways. Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really? What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I've been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. I really like the 3D models, so pretty and smooth. Yeah, they are. They smooth out from the 3DS models for sure. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With that extra large portion, of course. As a true friend, they put you in debt as well. November 22nd. Hey, that's almost to Black Friday. Which reminds me, I'm probably going to spend stuff on Black Friday, honestly. That's in 2 months from now. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Ouchi, have you managed the subpoena? Subpoena? I think subpoena. The witness.
Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. And thanks to a certain stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about. Subpoena. Okay. That's how you say it. I don't know. I don't know big words. They go over my head. Yeah, subpoena. Subpoena. It's like that one line. Instead of subpoena, it's like the dig site's on the other side of the city. Oh, the Halo session we had earlier today, Andre, that was annoying one. But it was funny nonetheless.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down in our nation founders?
Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over foreign governments' opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy. You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with the great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student and one who will arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Herb, there is one thing that I feel very strongly. Our country fails to uphold the truth in this justice system is a country with no future at all. Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the eye-wide look of terror.
You little brats!
Thank you, Council. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. Blech. Big words, hurt. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. Sounds like Britain has a gun in this knife fight. I think more than a gun, an elaborate trap. Like basically we're in a Saw movie and we're trying to get out of its elaborate hold, grasp, trap, whatever. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Yes! Your Excellency!
A little too pompous, honestly.
Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land.
Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussion take place without tea. It's a little bit stereotypical, I feel like. Is that true? No idea.
So, could you possibly trouble to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. I gave him the snake voice I remember last time. My name is Satoru Osanaga. I have been working undercover as a head waiter at the
Yes. We know all about you already.
Inspector Hokunaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. When you said Your Excellency, can that be a sound alert? No, that's gonna be like require me to get that. That requires me work, unfortunately, Skull, and I don't feel like I want to put in that work. Nom nom nom. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh, yes, I think I did. Didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking.
Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, If we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
I can't read. I can't read scribbles. Scribbles are a foreign language to me. It's good, yeah. Can't confirm. As part British, we are posh idiots. So it is true. Okay. Also, you're part British? Ooh, I did not know that, Lith.
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but, what?
He's a good translator.
The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in UMay University's medical faculty. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet...
Ah, man, I hate big words.
Dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song.
As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. So basically, we understood decently well, but everyone else was like,
Lulu, we don't know what you said.
The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Britt. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct?
She says, yes.
That was a long-winded way to say yes. It was like 5 or 6 like ticks. It was just like that's a sentence. It's basically you're saying, well, I do believe I was sitting with him, and he just said yes. It's like just I don't know. This could take some time. Even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese.
She liked to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately.
Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape.
I was just following special orders from the bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that you resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Liv, it's not fish, it's a steak. You can't smell something. You can't smell fish with a steak. At least we saw a steak back there.
True. Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight.
Do you mean to say?
Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment that the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood.
Shadow, shadow, shadow. Yep, 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 yep. Order! Order in the court!
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Now she gives a yes nod. Alright, where's this testimony? What we got?
I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor. They got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit.
I smell something like a... I didn't even read that. You interrupted before I got to even read the judge's statement. How could you, Ryunosuke? No, I don't have any kind of argument with that professor at all.
Objection! Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard, and look at this snow-white angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine those words the court is going to believe.
You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn.
But he's just so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the bureau. It was decided that Miss Britt was not involved, so I let her go.
The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however.
W. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today.
Does she ever clean that outfit? Because that's a lot of things to put on.
As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm.
I could see one in her hat. She has a lot of hair. Her bust is big. There's a lot of places I could see that could conceal a firearm. I'm just saying. Yeah, there's a lot of places. Lithy even agrees. There's a lot of places I can see on this character that can conceal something. I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. Exactly.
Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot.
There is no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the state witnesses' own words on the matter.
It's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. But then you'll be called a pervert and you'll be thrown into jail, probably. Don't think about anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't find a gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yeah, right in her hat. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we need to pull her testimony apart. Smirk. I saw a smirk. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Also, as I did before, anything cross-examination wise, I'm just gonna read it. So, mostly it's just the regular cutscenes that I'm gonna do, because this is a lot of like actual dialogue. So it's mainly we're just gonna pay attention to reading it. Also, 2 p.m. lunch. It is a bit of a late lunch. Honestly, the latest lunch I would go for is probably 3. Anything like around 4, that's probably like early. That's like supper, early dinner time, honestly. Because usually it's like around 5, 6, and then 7. It's like 5 to 7 is usually where I would say I would have dinner, honestly. Also, is it do they normally have late lunch? Yeah, so I can just hear no. Ouchie. Just got called out. So yeah, so the day occurrence would have lunch together. Okay, so there was a reason for them to be late. So yeah, we have the medical evidence that was late, which is why. So the fact that it had a late lunch was all true. Ouchie just did not know what to do. Just talking out of his butt, or what little hair he has left. Also was unable to eat, so ordered a beefsteak. Yes. All right. So she was aware that the professor had some dental treatment. That's a lot of steak for a woman, to be honest. Exactly how it was left, huh? I've watched a lot of true crime, so I've seen bullshit in the murderer's statements. I mean, here's the thing about that. It's like, I mean, you could say like basically like any typical like cartoon or anime where it's like a very thin and slender woman can eat like a whole like barn of animals and still be the same like size.
Oh, my headphones aren't plugged in. Shit.
welcome, Kyle.
Shit, damn it. I literally had my earbuds in my ears, but like the headphones weren't actually plugged in. So when all it went ba-doop from like my laptop speaker, I was like, no.
I just like how you're just like, ba-doop. Oh, my headphones weren't in. Shoot. Also, hi, Jeff.
Take that, Jeff.
Take that, Jeff. Well, we're learning. Oh, whoops, pressed the wrong button. We're learning about history of this British woman. Just want to see how this one. Well, I added that little thing. So yeah, Kyle, we're adding we're trying to figure out why she's our enemy kind of thing. She's from Britain and we're from Japan, and we use big words in English. This is like basically anime, where it's just like we're Japanese. You're supposed to be speaking the universal language, English.
Right. I mean, it makes sense that the British person be speaking English.
But I can't understand her because it's all scribbles. Wait, does that mean all of us are Japanese if we can't understand British language?
I mean, I can understand the British language.
Are you British then?
In my ancestry, yes.
Oh yeah, you are technically British.
Yeah, like my entire ancestry is from like the countries that make up the UK, basically.
Right. Aren't you like one of the early generations to be born in America in your family?
Oh no, the British connections go so far back that I don't know anybody in my family that actually has like that deep of like British roots.
Oh, okay.
No, presumably my family's been in the U.S. for like as long as I know of. I've never traced that back or anything.
So probably like your great grandparents and further kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there are some people with British or Irish accents in my family from like marriage. Like, my aunt's ex-husband is from the UK, and so is my my grandpa's current wife, like my step-grandmother.
Oh, really? Was not I forgot that it was not customary to eat beef in Japan until the doors opened out to the world. Is that true, Kyle?
Probably. I can imagine that certain foods and animal products became introduced to Japan by like Europe, I guess. Portugal was like the first country that really like started trade relationships with Japan.
Oh,
And that's
okay.
why the word that Japanese people use for bread is the Portuguese word for bread, which is pan.
Oh, that would make sense. Okay.
So
Well,
bread was introduced to Japan by the Portuguese.
okay. Well, it's meant to highlight the stark contrast between the countries, which makes sense, yeah. Because, like, really, Japanese, at this point in this era, really hasn't heard a lot of English. So a lot of them really don't know what English language is.
Yeah, I learned in my studies of kanji that the Japanese actually refer to the Portuguese travelers as Nambanjin, which means the southern savages. So I can tell you about the attitude that Japan had toward them at the time, I guess.
So yeah, that statement has some significance, but we're gonna keep pressing because I want to know what all the other statements have at least. Oh, now he slams his hand, so he's very confident in that answer. Oh, no, no, of course not. You suck up of an ouchie. We must all supiku ingurishu. Ingurishu?
Let me get a screen cap of this real quick. What the hell, dude?
Supiku ingurishu.
This is so accurate, but
I didn't even realize. I don't even know if that was part of the.
I got it.
I don't even know if that was part of the fan translation or not. But this is probably the English translation team probably had fun with this one.
Oh, this is fan translated?
No. This one is all officially translated. I have the fan translated, but I don't remember if this was it. I don't understand Japanese, but I can answer all your questions accurately. I mean, she's technically being translated by someone who knows English at the very least. Also, Aochi is a simp for her. Very much so. I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever or only in the presence of a beautiful woman. he tries to go with beautiful women, but unfortunately he'll be a lonely man for the rest of his life. I mean, he will get a woman, just not anyone anytime soon, because his family history keeps going for a long time. So had some coffee to drink, huh? She's smirking.
Yes.
Yes. So, he claims that we have not shot the gun, but then who shot the gun? And how? Honestly, you really should not pick up a gun. There's like little reason for you to actually pick up a gun in any situation. Because either you get accused like this, or you either get blamed for shooting someone, you get arrested for holding a weapon, or you can actually kill someone. It's the Ace Attorney way. That's true. International incident as far as we're concerned. Yep. Alright, don't carry a gun myself. Obviously, I couldn't have been the culprit. Lady, woman, you have a lot of places you can hide a tiny gun. Especially since that gun that he held was pretty tiny. This life event, don't hold guns. Hold cake instead. But Lith, what happens if there's no cake around you to hold? So you just asked if she carried a weapon, and she said did not. Didn't even do a physical search. That is not proper justice system. You have to do a physical search on per people always. Still don't hold guns. Yep. Alright, so let's see. Hosonaga, do you hold the gun? No. Okay, I believe you. Basically. There's a point out that you wanted to stay well, she was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university. You know, in reality's sake, I feel like no matter what, you had a presentation. Like, there's no reason for you to leave a crime scene. And she's saying that she wanted to help makes it a little bit more suspicious. Why would you want to help at the crime scene if you have like little to no stuff? Oh boy. Huh. Courtesy to pay attention to me. Ouchie, we don't pay attention to you. She's elegant, refined, and young, and beautiful, and a gentlewoman from Great Britain. Any more compliments you want to give to her, Kazuma? It's like the old black uniform, yes. anyway, this is our only chance to expose her. Alright, so what we gotta do? There is an inconsistency. I have to double check the seltzer one. It's hiding behind the mask. What's what I'm aiming for? So I think I know what to do because it's obviously the seltzer one that's gonna be. Let's see. And I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. So if I present, I believe, let's see. Yeah, I think this is the one. Yes. Yes. I keep seeing the same argument. She's from Britain and she can do no wrong. I mean, you can't argue with that. Great Britain is obviously perfect. I mean, Kyle would agree with that.
Britain is obviously perfect. No, I wouldn't agree with that.
You cut out
there's this thing called the British Empire, Nick. Wasn't very great for many people around the world.
Yep. That's it. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print.
Hey, Nick, real quick.
Yeah.
I'm going on Steam right now. I'm gonna add Honey, I Joined a Cult to my wish list. I'm wondering if this is the sort of game I'd actually want to play.
Honestly, I just saw like on the store page, Honey, I Joined a Cult, and I just said like, you know what, this is actually kind of funny. I don't even know how.
What game is this?
I don't know. It's like a simulation.
It looks like a tycoon kind of game. Looking at screenshots of it, like a zoo tycoon kind of thing.
Honestly, I just found it funny just because it's cult, and you've always complained about like people trying
Popular user-defined tags for this product: early access, Illuminati simulation strategy. Why is Illuminati a tag on Steam?
Just because it's funny. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. It was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, it's odd, very odd.
Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself.
Yunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers.
The cheers?
Miss Britt just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Ah. You're quite right, Counsel. There is only 1 glass pictured here.
Objection! Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over?
Shoot, I don't know big words. Kyle, how do you say that word? That last word.
Minute.
Minute? Man, why does Algie have to use big words? I don't understand big words.
Isn't this a Japanese person? Why is he saying words like that?
I have no idea. He's been using big words that I don't understand or know how to say. Like subpoena. Or whatever.
Well, that's like a legal term.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you're playing a legal game, so
I don't know legal terms because I'm a legal person.
Well, watch the news, dude. You'll hear legal terms sometimes if you like watch news. You don't have to be in the field.
I watch news. They have not used that much.
Reminds me of one time I was looking in like a Reddit thread. It was like about like I don't know, you can read your thing first as I remember what I'm gonna say.
It's gonna be a little bit, but yeah.
What possible difference does the presence of or absence of a glass make on the case?
Or take a class like I did. Maybe I will eventually, Lith, but not anytime soon. Maybe when I go to get my master's. Minite, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence?
Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. Colonel.
Milling.
Otacon.
But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Are you going to try to tell me you clink with only 1?
You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table.
Inspector, what did the lady say?
It would seem that it was Miss Britt who took the glass from the table. What? It was also terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying.
Not sus. Dun, 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 dun. What's that Among Us theme? Dun, 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 dun. Whatever. Don't know.
Doot. Something like that.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's like the sound of a violin string plucking or something.
Ding, 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 ding. I don't. I just heard it not too long ago and I just forgot it.
Doot.
Good gracious. Why would you?
But there's a sound alert. That'd actually be pretty good. It's a sound alert, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
The body reported sound.
Sorry.
She says.
Sorry.
You should only make sense with the Ace Attorney for sure. I don't know why would the Mist do that. Also, that's illegal in many cases.
There. As I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all.
I feel like the students have more reason to stay in the justice system than Ouchie, who has been in the legal system for a little bit. Oh, please.
You must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray?
That's absurd.
Oh, really? So do you take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief? What?
No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. Concealed it under her dress.
It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying.
A handbag, you say?
Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England.
So she stole. Yeah, she literally stole a glass.
So, the beautiful lady was very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. The student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed the glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement?
Well, don't know really.
If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance.
Yes,
You're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance it's... Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say?
yes. You
try to keep up. It's already been explained at court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items.
Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Britt stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too.
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard?
Is he trying... I don't understand what's the insult for blackguard. Is that just... I know he's just trying to insult the student because he's wearing a black outfit, but... No, she hasn't. It's really... No, oh, that's the wrong voice for Kazuma. It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard from the defendant when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire the gun, we can deduce that there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't be seriously suggesting...
Inspector Hasanaga. Yes. Did you or did you not search Miss Jezebel's Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
Stop, criminal scum. You have violated the law of the beautiful woman. Order. Order. Order.
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have the chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. You think so, Kazuma? Oh, he's dying. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. And you forgot to present it. This is the photographic print. This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. But I never... You can see right through to what's inside. That's right. Apparently, mesh work bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there is no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Britt's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Order. I would like to have 2 number 9s with that. Inspector Hasanaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. But the hat. Exactly, the hat. Why not check the hat? Certainly, Your Excellency. The photograph of the handbag has been entered into the court record. Woo! I think you have had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance. I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
Indeed, there's only one logical conclusion.
Yep, well, GG's. Kyle, I think I beat the game already tonight.
Oh, you're like, oh, did I just beat this video game? Like
Yeah,
I beat Mario RPG.
I beat it in one sitting. See, like Justin's proven it already. It's like GG's. Yeah, GG guys. GG.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, I'm
Did
losing.
you ever see that clip of Mario RPG where like I was so caught off guard that I beat the final boss? I was like, wait, did I just beat this video game? That's what you just did.
I didn't even see RPG yet because I've been so busy like catching up on a lot.
Yeah. I mean, Mario RPG was, I'll admit that it was not necessarily the most engaging stream game to watch.
But I've been
compared to like Mario 64. I don't know. Mario RPG was definitely like, I enjoy playing it, but at the same time, it got like clearly the least audience engagement of like any game I've streamed for that long.
I've at least watched it when I was awake.
Yeah.
That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
Laser, sorry, I was gone. Needed food. No, Skull, it's fine. We're just playing this game. No worries. I've just been doing random voices for the time being. You should get some eats in you, for sure. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in the worst situation than I was at the start. Also, thank you. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Thank you for hydrate, Lith. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it? I can get some eats without some mochi for dessert. I need to eat the cake that I got from Cheesecake Factory soon. I'm probably gonna grab a bite of that.
Well, that sounds really good.
Yeah. I'll tell the story once we get to another talkative part.
Yeah, I can tell that one Reddit thread I was talking about too.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like super anecdotal, but yeah.
Yep.
Tish ha ha.
Who says tish ha ha, by the way?
Tish ha ha.
Basically. Use Phoenix Wright strat. Random bullshit. Basically, yep.
I must say, you put quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat, while the strong eat.
That's a weird way to put that together. Wait, are you saying that...
That sounds like the phrase like eat the meat, you know? Like,
yeah, but it's like, it basically... But meat, putting on some
or
meat...
dog eat dog, you know?
Yeah, but putting meat on your bones would be like putting on muscle. But also you're saying that the strong eats the weak, which means, are we cannibalizing each other?
Well, this just sounds like a weird way of saying the phrase, it's a dog eat dog world, or survival of the fittest.
Yeah, basically.
Something along those lines.
Sharing is caring. Yep. Share. So you ouchie. Ooh, Lith is out for ouchie.
You were wasting your time. There is no way to defeat the true justice. A fact that you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell.
Wow, I'm stumbling on that words. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't really commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma, but is there really no chance of now turning this trial around? Or to judge? There is nothing that the last photograph the detective produced that we can contest, which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. No, Kazuma. Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
It seems we will be able to report the British government on time after all.
Oh, shut up, ouchie. That smug little. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, have been considered all of the evidence placed before me. I hereby find... There he is. Confidence. Wait, Your Excellency. Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
Objection! This amateurishness.
Amateurishness. Okay.
This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Yes. Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Look at him. He's actually standing tall now. Now, that means that if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
This is a blatant straw clutching. Look at the photographic print. All it shows is the handbag that just a woman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence.
You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
Haha, my thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. Very well. I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
What?
But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response, here the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print, Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. You will identify the court where in this print we see the significant detail in which you have alluded. I do actually like the music in this, like, desperation. This is actually really good music. Oh, I like how texts go over it. And also, that's what I was looking. If you guys were paying attention to more of the photograph, you notice some little details. Look at this over here. It's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. Oh heck yeah, the music is boom. It almost like a burn of some description.
Dear me, I was pondering, what
the heck is piffle? Kyle? Kyle?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah, what's piffle?
Just like nonsense or bullshit, probably.
What is this guy? How does Ouchie knows all of this big words in English?
Piffle, definition, nonsense. That's literally it. See? Sample sentence, it's absolute piffle to say that violence is okay. It's also a song by Sleep Surgeon.
I think that you should listen to that if that's it.
I'm gonna listen to it real quick on YouTube Music. Oh, YouTube Music? I've never even used YouTube Music.
It's the same thing as YouTube. Ouchie's a piffle. Yep.
you would come out with? A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist?
Well, how about this, Ouchie? You're bald as, like... You suck. That's a burn.
Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector.
Yeah, so it's not Piffle by Sleep Surgeon. It's like a lo-fi kind of thing that people in Fairhaven listen to. It's from an album called Anywhere Is Fine If I'm With You.
Hmm. Burn like from the heat from a gun. Heh. The police coroner
Also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report.
What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. Random burn on the victim. Nah, it can't be related. However, as Prosecutor Alchi points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn.
Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure that His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case?
To be honest, I'm not really sure.
But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Of course, this is Phoenix's right strat.
Yes, you're right.
I am? If we can just link the burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise his shutting door back open again.
Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed. I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence that irrefutably linked to the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then would you allow it? I would, yes. To tell you the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. As soon as you pointed out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find something linked to the burn, between the burn and the case. He takes a deep breath and breathes in and breathes out. This is the moment of truth. This is the time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means. So then, the defense will now present the evidence, its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates the inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. Why does everyone have big words?
Because they're lawyers.
Everyone uses big words.
They've been through a lot of school, Nick.
I don't like big words. I hate big words. This is why English class is one of my least favorite subjects.
Yes!
What's this, Counsel? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe the photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at the scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore.
Do hurry up, Ricky. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable.
Actually, we may need to stay with us a little longer, if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it in this photograph that explains the reasoning for the victim's burn?
The fork. Just kidding.
Yes.
Yes.
The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate. Oh!
Your Excellency, are you alright?
As you can see, there is an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. Yunosuke, you're a genius. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
But even if that is the case, we can't know if it's happened on the day in question or not. It couldn't have been the day. It could have been the day before, on the day before that, or it most likely happened at some other unrelated time.
Well, sadly, prosecute Aochi, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly indiscernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But...
I would say, I would say looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense has just pointed out.
Well-defined burn.
Well-defined burn. I think we should just do that for every burn we do now. This has no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade. Centigrade, really? I haven't heard that one. A burn like that
That means Celsius.
Okay. A burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. So, 90 degrees Celsius would be like 120 degrees Fahrenheit. About there, a little bit. Luigi,
No, that's way higher. 90 degrees Celsius is almost boiling temperature.
Is it like 300 then?
Boiling is 100 Celsius.
It's 100 Celsius? Yeah, no, I thought it was like 120 Celsius.
Yeah, like the 120 Fahrenheit would be like in the 40s of Celsius.
Oh, was it?
So like twice that.
And then I missed my calculations on that, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, 90 degrees is almost boiling hot.
Yep. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I have not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter. Yes.
There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet, Inspector Hasanaga never heard the professor scream, not on the day or any before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds on that day, that would be beyond careless, I think, Consul. Giving. He's both technically. Yep. Money is tight. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would without any question have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Aochi?
Well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Yonosuke, do you think... Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive to a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. A trap that was almost completely completely set. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson he hadn't noticed the burn, was asleep, or was already deceased. Kyle, I wonder which one it is. I think he was asleep.
You can't really get a burn at approximately 200 degrees Fahrenheit and still be sleeping.
I mean, come on. There's some heavy sleepers, man.
And you definitely notice a burn that hot too.
I mean, come on. I mean, it takes a lot for some people to wake up. I mean, you don't know. Some people need a quick whack.
I mean, if the burn started off at a lower temperature and got to the point where it did so much nerve damage that you can't feel it. Because that's what happens with third-degree burns, when it burns through the flesh. Like, at a certain point, the nerves are hit so hard that you can't feel the sensation anymore.
Yeah, that's true. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible, apart from in one particular situation. Woke up from my dog falling asleep on top of me. I mean, that would be an interesting thing to wake up. What is Digit's Discord name here? Take that, Jeff. Council, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead.
Already?
Dead? Knowing what we know now, it's only possible explanation. There it is. There's the actual solid one. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead.
That's madness!
Order, please! Council, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly he has no grasp on the facts.
No, Prosecutor Alchi, it is you who has no grasp on the facts.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Creepypasta? Jeff is the killer of the creepypasta. Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But Your Excellency?
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency. What was that smile?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
Hey, more Ace Attorney. Yep, hey, Max. Just finishing up case 1. We're getting to the meat of the last case. Thought that just would attack Jeff at the killer. Maybe not. She can speak Japanese. Plot twist. So she didn't need a translator at all.
Miss Brett, you speak Japanese?
She is speakerish English.
Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country after all.
But then why have you been speaking through the interpreter until now?
Oh, is Jeff the Killer a creepypasta thing?
Probably.
I had no idea. When the words Jeff and Killer are put together, I thought you were talking about Jeffrey Dahmer or something.
I have no idea. I don't know the creep. I
How
don't.
much do you know
read-
that is?
I don't
That was
read-
like a famous serial killer from like Wisconsin, I think.
Oh, okay.
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible.
Wow, Kyle, you're speaking in vulgar tones.
My bad, dude. Oh, fuck. Vulgar tones. Look at that Ryunosuke sweating. He looks like that one Jordan Peele meme.
Yeah, it does.
The endless dripping sweat.
Yeah, these two do.
But it seems that the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level. Oh, well, you are the epitome of true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us.
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. No, it's not. Australia English is much more refined, says Lith. I believe that. So there's a lot of creepypastas. Got it.
Right. I never really dive very far into that world.
Same here. So we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Witness testimony.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
Jesus. Max, thank you for the gift sub. Also, wow, Jamie has a gift sub now. Thank you, Max, for the gift sub. Didn't have to do that, man. We're here to just enjoy some stuff. Quack. I don't even have a duck emote, unfortunately. And there is the host. Thank you, Skull, for the host. That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court history. Thank you. Easy does it.
I do hope that this is the last time I will have to sully my lips with your coarse tone of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. No, not at all, not at all. It was delightful merely to hear you speak, dear lady.
He is such a simp.
And it seemed very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. You must be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. The Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen.
Thanks. Was that a prayer then? Well, you have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up the cross-examination now. Expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. All right, cool. Kyle, you have a Reddit post story now? Give me a second.
Oh yeah, it was just like a really small thing. It's just I came across the thread on like Ask Reddit, talking about like movies that like basically they're asking like people of Reddit who have like education in a certain field, like what have movies gotten like seriously wrong, or like what really stood out to you. Like an example being like say there's like a scientific movie that's like totally scientifically inaccurate, and like a biologist should know that.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was like that kind of question. It's just a funny thing where somebody was mentioning some movie. I can't remember what it was, but it was apparently something involving people like working in tech or something, maybe, or like somebody studying computer science. And there's a character who's like, "Dude, how's your study of HTML5 going?" And like, and somebody watching that was like, "Dude, that just sounds so awkward. It sounds like a scriptwriter who knows nothing about like anything related to coding, just like looking something up and thinking that they're sounding technical by saying HTML5. Really just sounds really dorky."
It really does sound dorky. HTML5 to the most prominent of, like, even to the basic of programmers is not.
It's basic, and the fact that they said 5, you know, like it's not necessary to include the 5 there.
Yeah, because like most programmers, like I've talked to, have never like always just say HTML. They never say 5. They have never. Heck, it's more impressive if you know Java, in my opinion, and that's the one of the most common languages you can learn at the beginning.
Right.
So
but yeah, it's just like, and then then that totally set off all the computer science people in the comments. Were like, "Oh god damn, what the fuck? You're ridiculous."
Yep.
Everybody's just like going off about it.
That's fine. That's funny. Also, this woman saw that Ryunosuke's fly was open. She was looking at the family jewels down there. Keep it PG, Kyle, says Skull.
Keep what PG?
You can't swear, Kyle, apparently.
Am I not allowed to?
No, that's just Skull saying.
Is it because I'm on your channel?
Maybe, like you have to change your audiences to mature now.
No swearing. Okay, got it. Noted.
No, HTML5 was...
Every time I want to swear, I'll say HTML5 instead.
Yeah, that's probably... no, HTML5 was referring to as HTML in my high school class. HTML5 is the proper way to say it, Lith, but in most people, when you say just HTML, it's most likely just referring to HTML5.
You're specifying the version if you add the 5 at the end, but...
So Kyle can't swear, but Skull can swear. Got it.
HTML5.
So everyone else can swear. Grace
is playing WarioWare now.
Yeah, Grace can easily swear. Is she playing WarioWare? Because I have not turned notifications on.
Well, no, she's not streaming it, but she sent me a message saying it's time, and I thought she was talking about something related to the moon because that was the last thing we've been talking about this morning. But she just sends me a picture of like the intro cutscene of WarioWare. I was like, ooh, she's playing it now. She's gonna be plugging nostrils and plugging armpit hairs.
Yeah. We need Matt when he swears to get involved. Yep. She didn't even say that. Who's swearing? Skull told Kyle to never swear again, and so he's replacing it with just HTML5 every time he swears. Everyone else can swear, though.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to swear, though. I can only say HTML5.
Darn lag. Oof, Luigi. Maybe need a quick refresh. I haven't heard Fanta swear. If you want to hear Fanta swear, there are actually clips of him swearing. Also early on, too.
Yes.
I can't read what Grace said out loud because that would count as swearing. I know you're kidding, Skull, but now I have to roll with it and just say HTML5 in the place of profanity for the rest of this stream.
Mm-hmm. The scrap, just say Grace to join us, and then just have her swear for you every single time.
Right.
Even though she doesn't swear at all.
That, or I'm just gonna get really out of hand, and I'm just gonna start saying Cascade style sheets.
Dragon Ball Fighters broke him. Yeah, Dragon Ball Fighters broke Matt.
I'll get like really specific with like my HTML5 swearing and be like, opening tag H1, hello world, closing tag H1.
I say a few words, but mostly like to make up my own though. Holy
yeah, like
mug.
holy mug. Motherfricker, she would say sometimes.
I've heard that before though. Skull, when,
Like, you wretch.
when Kyle's committed to something, he's committed to something. So it's a little bit too late to...
I'm not gonna drop this. This will continue. It'll be thinking like Retrobound podcast too. Like,
Yeah.
we gotta avoid an explicit rating on iTunes by me just saying HTML5 and cascading style sheets.
Yeah. Luigi, Fanto did join earlier the stream, but not on call. Unfortunately, Fanto is sick right now, and just want to be clear, it's not COVID. His niece and nephew apparently were sick when they came. They came over. They're visiting over for the weekend, and they both were sick, and he seemed to have caught their cold. So he took NyQuil. And he said BRB earlier this stream, but very likely he probably fell asleep because NyQuil works kind of fast. Yep, Selby was sick, so he probably is sleeping right now. Son of an orange. Need to make a retrobound command. Whoopsie. I need to go back. Wait, I didn't press one thing.
What
I
did
want
the
to press her.
command say? The next podcast will come out in like May of 2025.
Full heal, train to celebrate ASAP. We just need to put him in the Pokemon Center, and that's it.
Son of an orange.
Honestly, I will have to say I kind of forgot the connection. I was thinking with the steak as well, the plate. A specific detail about it, which is probably going to be showcased in the brief moment. Yes, Skull. What is it? Oh yeah, by the way, I also want to say, like, I did get some cake, Kyle, from like Cheesecake Factory from on Monday, because like on Monday we ended off our PAX weekend nights at Cheesecake Factory actually. So, and it was like, you know what, I should get some cheesecake while I'm here. So I got some cheesecake, and I haven't eaten them since. They've been in the refrigerator for a little bit.
Cheesecake.
Making me hungry. Stop. Cheesecake. Sorry.
Stop it.
I talk about food. Actually, blame Grace, because every time
Apparently I'm better than food.
apparently I'm better food.
Apparently, I'm better than food.
But blame Grace, because she's the one who always makes people hungry, because she's the one who talked about food, made me hungry, and now I'm talking about food, and so yeah, everything's at fault for Grace.
So hashtag blame Grace.
Let's see. Gamer check. Retro game to talk about, check. Do you have the link to the SoundCloud? We can probably add that to the command, Luigi.
We only have the first episode on SoundCloud, though.
For now.
Well, the thing is, it costs money to be able to even host, like, more than a couple hours of content on SoundCloud.
Really?
By Michael or Emoto. Yeah, that's the thing on SoundCloud. I think it's something you get like 3 hours of audio, and then you need to have like a premium plan to upload more. Because I mean, 3 hours is like, that's not much at all for podcasts, obviously, but for somebody posting like songs, 3 hours is like plenty to showcase a lot.
Or demo
Like,
reels.
just posting your like demos or songs.
Yep. So probably YouTube is probably the best.
Yeah.
I do nothing but eat food. I think that's a lot of us, honestly. Skull thinks I'm nice, innocent. No, Grace, you're not nice. Sus, Grace. Yeah, she's
98% sus.
98% sus. Ooh, you have the immersive feeling. Dun, 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 dun. Nah, I don't think she's so nice.
Nicely sus.
Nicely sus. She nicely murders people. She nicely head rolls people.
Wait.
Oh, well, I guess it must have just been some like other Grace person who was 98% sus then. If official underscore Grace is less than half. Justin's not sus at all.
So we noticed something. Lucky 7, Justin. Nightbot was sus yesterday.
Wait, is that true? Hold on, let me check about this. Oh, well. Alright, well, everyone is sus then.
Well, except 2% of everyone.
Right.
And who's at 2% though?
That's the same sus percent as Grace, though. Think about it. Grace is everyone, and everyone is Grace.
Except 2% of them.
Hello, everyone. My name's Grace. I like head rolling
Grace sounds
people.
like.
Oh my gosh, holy mug. Hear ye. Head rolls for everybody. No. Very bad southern accent. No.
It's gotta be more like a. Hey everyone, it's your girl, Grace. And today's snack check.
Pasta check.
I have my shortbread.
I got Doritos. I got
and
my
what else besides shortbread?
non-sponsored.
I have my
7-Eleven
actual
orange
bread. But for hydrates, I just have water today. Just water.
Here ye, says Grace. Kick.
Newborn officially out. Bye bye. And then she does like a heart gesture in front of her face.
That person right next to her. So this is one of the new mechanics in this game. That he says there's a reaction, as we saw. Just water.
Just water.
Oh my god, Luigi. Thank you for the 510 bits.
Wow, that's a lot of cheering for Retrobound Podcast. Are we worth that much?
We almost got a sponsorship though.
I mean, I don't know about almost.
Yeah, technically.
You got offered something, and you were like, "Do you want it?" And I was like, "Nah." And you're like, "All right."
Yeah, technically. Wario is hard without touchscreen.
It definitely plays differently. Yeah, it's a different style. And there's like all the different characters to play as and stuff. I guess I was correct in that Grace would never actually play the demo of WarioWare. She ended up just playing the full game.
Probably, yeah. Also, Luigi is staying as the boss for my streams. At least tries to as long as he can. Okay,
So
so
at 92k channel points.
almost there. Carl hasn't even submitted a request yet. So there's actually parts of this game where you have to pay attention to when they react to certain things. He lost his own thoughts. So I like how everyone is currently paused to let him explain everything. Yeah, I like how it's like explaining this. Are we like currently in limbo right now, where everything is just paused? Oh, Luigi's at 10k. Jesus.
Gee, can you just give me 10k so I can have my 100k right now?
I mean, that will have to be set up a prediction. Luigi basically needs to donate all of it, his 10k. You have to just be the only one
and
in it.
betting is kind of dangerous, so
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I mean, you can bet right now. I don't know what we would bet though. You've ever shown strange atmosphere amongst. Okay, so I use the D-pad to move, right?
Wait.
I like how that she has a little profile picture at the bottom.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Yeah. He's coughing. No, he's dying. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. Really lost in his thoughts. Deeply. It looked like you were thinking of something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard the lady next to you had a set. Ooh.
That's a lot of bits too, jeez.
1,050 bits. Jesus, Luigi. Thank you so much for the bits. Wow. Morpeko is going to be filled up with bits tonight. Morpeko is currently getting buried, Kyle.
What?
Morpeko is currently buried. It's the Pokemon behind my
What is
jar.
buried?
My Pokemon is buried behind a jar.
Oh.
Can't
Oh,
even see
right,
more
yeah.
You
That
can't
Pokemon. So I don't know the name of that Pokemon. I just think of it as the Pikachu-looking thing.
This the Pikachu looking thing is currently buried.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yep.
Having heard what the lady next to you had to say, if there's something you'd like to say, please share it with the court.
Well, what's the meaning of this? It's the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault in her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately.
Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not.
Hmm?
The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Intimately. I wouldn't use that word. I wouldn't use that word clearly. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain, which is why Satoru Hosonaga, or also known as Solid Snake, never mind, always strive to make every investigation I am involved in flawless. Flawless victory. Wait, 3.3k left? Wait, how did you get 3.3k left? Oh, wait, Luigi is talking about his bits on my channel, Kyle. That was not talking about channel points.
Not his channel point. Okay.
Now now I understand what he's talking about.
Yeah, I was talking about my channel points. That's why I have 92k.
Have Justin donate some to you because he has a lot.
You can't donate channel points, can you?
It's only predictions. Only predictions can happen.
Well, that's betting though.
Yeah. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. Oops, wrong button. Jesus, Luigi. Thank you for the 3,320k bits.
Jeez, dude.
Wow, that is 10,000. Luigi is now my first person to reach 10k. I really need to get a bit emote now for Luigi. All right, probably gonna have to expedite that process now. Well, thank you so much, Luigi, for that. 10k Pog. Wow. Well, much appreciated, Luigi. That's a huge bit stuff.
Hypto.
Right, dope. 10k. Thank you, Luigi, for the 10k bits. I much appreciate it. Always thank you so much for that. Oh my god, that's a lot of bits. I guess I gotta make some emotes now. I'm afraid not to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. He's dying. A crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Is that? This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Is there something left in the bottle? I can see it. One day, our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming. I guarantee it. Can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the statement. The court will accept a glass bottle of water as evidence. Miss Brett, can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank the day of the victim's death? Yes, it was that bottle. Bits emote and Blaze in sunglasses. I will make a lot of bits. I'll make some bits emotes for you, Luigi. I'll expedite that process. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well. Counsel, you may resume cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor. Ahem. Raise their glasses too. In a toast. Yep. Okay, so I am gonna check this bottle of wine. Right, I have to move. So the label is written in a foreign language that I cannot recognize. Clearly. Must be very expensive water. Why does it have the French bought carbonated water?
Very expensive water.
It's carbonated water that's in French.
Oh. It says very expensive water. I don't know.
Hockey.
Water.
You can't go drinking evidence. Yeah, you can't.
Grace has responded to my impression of the French language by posting vowels.
Ew. Is that everything? Now, okay, so how can I smack dab people with this? Yes! What are you, Gumshoe? Apparently I am Gumshoe. Poisoning maybe, but even then, it's doubtful. You know, you never know.
Yes, I knew that would be water in French, but I don't know how to pronounce that, so...
What is this? The bottle of water? Ew is water in French. Lamau. Ew.
That's clearly not pronounced ew.
I'm just gonna say ew because that's what Grace says. Ew.
Every time you ask somebody for water in France, you're just like, ew.
Yeah, I'll just be Grace and be like, ew. Gave my best ew Grace impression.
Ew.
Ew. Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes into mind. It's like, oh. Ow.
Ow.
Obviously, I'm referring to poison.
Poison?
On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water.
In that case, here's a French joke. A man dives into a pool and says, ow.
Close to O.
Oh, it's pronounced, oh, okay.
Like, oh baby, I'm coming for you. Ow. Ew, this water is so gross. Could it be that there was poison inside?
In a restaurant in France, you order a drink and they just hand you a glass of water and you're like, oh.
Oh. Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Order, order, order! And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could possibly have done that. Jezebel Brett, it was you! This leaves a question of who shot him.
This is outrageous! Who suggests such a thing without a scrap of evidence? You little rookie imbecile, have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime.
What?
The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy.
Oh.
If I may.
I will silence you forever for this disgraceful...
It was you who should be silent.
Of course. Hey, dude, lady!
Where did that come from? She just snapped. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies.
I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring to?
I described your police force as inferior, but no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigate this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not.
WTF, Kyle?
I what? Recording Bob Marley?
You did?
HTML5, dude.
Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents.
And what did you find, Inspector?
I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could not find no trace of poison of any description in that bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No. No! I'm very grateful to you all, to all you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
But of course, dear lady, pleasure was all ours.
Though he's liable, though. Yep.
I was so sure. This can't be right.
Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think the cross-examination had clarified everything. He did lie in the trial. Kyle, you can swear us a skull.
Yeah, that's why I typed HTML5, dude. I am
Yeah.
swearing.
That's the-
Cascading shadow seeds, bro.
As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only inconceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit.
I'm done for.
The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett.
Oh no. I'm just glad the matter is resolved.
Therefore, proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point? Drink it. Drink it. Drink it if it's poisoned.
Kazuma. I'm sorry, Ryunosuke.
I have nothing more.
Well, if you excuse me now, I must be leaving.
I will come to Japan. ISTG.
Okay, well, I'll be here.
What's STG again?
Swear to God.
Oh, yeah. You can't interrupt the court.
Please, wait. Isn't that...
What's the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to Defense.
Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package, wrapped in furoshiki cloth. What's furoshiki cloth, Kyle?
Furoshiki, that's a cloth that's used as like a wrapping paper,
Oh, really?
like traditionally.
Double check stuff. Got it. Susato Poggers, says Justin. To be continued. Nani? We're not stopping here. We're gonna be finishing this case. Let's typical, he follows through every challenge, like getting the ripped pants at work speedrun, which is true. Kyle does technically have the speedrun on that, but he hasn't reported it.
Yeah, I didn't even get golden pants or silver pants the last time I played that game. I did it on the... oh, wait, did you see that, Nick? I tried to play Oxenfree and it didn't work, so I just played Rip Pants at work instead.
Not yet, no.
Yeah, it was pretty meh. I didn't even get to silver pants. I kept messing up at a certain point. I was like, alright, I'm just going to end the stream. Like, this isn't even the game I meant to be playing tonight, so I'm just going to call it here. That's what happened.
Lol, struggles. Well, I understand
you... Yeah, dude, HTML5, man.
Well, I understand you're the judicial assistant to the defense, but why this sudden ingress into my courtroom?
Ha! Judicial assistant and a woman, no less. Excuse you?
So he's no problem with British women, got it.
The rules state that females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify.
Wow, says Grace.
I fully understand. And I ask only for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense.
Ha! You're too late, little girl. This trial has already been concluded.
5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more.
But, Your Excellency...
I'm most grateful.
Ouchie just got SDE. What SDE? What's that mean?
Oh gosh, it's like having to explain WAP all over again.
Boom, beat you to
it. It's small dragon energy.
Oh yeah, that's what it means. Oh, that's what it is, right?
Exactly who are you? I'm so sorry, there's no time. Please simply accept this for now.
What is it? A report about something? Written in English.
Like wet-ass pits.
Oh, yeah.
It's Giselle's Brett's research.
The English woman's?
After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university and went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper.
Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she?
So does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case? I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself.
Oh no, of course not.
Special characteristics of Carrere and its effects on human subjects. Interesting.
Carrere? What's that?
I've never heard that word before.
Time's up. The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom.
There was too little time for me to read in detail, but I've summarized what I could on note just inside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it.
This is wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. This report has been entered to the court record.
Goodbye then. Good luck.
He's got one-eyed monster, a small one at that. Wow, I didn't even know you would make that joke, Justin. You've had long enough, counsel. I cannot detain our English guest any longer. I ask the prosecution and defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but...
The prosecution has made its case convincing enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
You've just been simping for her. You have done nothing to this case. Yunosuke, we're out of options here. This is really our very last chance.
Yes, I know.
Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence. Look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett.
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you would grace us with your presence a little longer.
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time. I'll have to politely...
Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize I was phrased as a question. However, I must ask you to treat that as an order.
said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense.
True.
Yep.
I can confirm that one.
Yep. My apologies, dear lady. So, counsel. What is this new evidence that demands the court's attention? My badge. Let's see. A report detailed by unknown poison by Miss Brett has been researching during her time. Synopsis: a poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America, not Africa. The hunters of used it to ancient time to incapacitate their prey. Instant paralysis, but even in minute doses. Above mentioned effects occur when the poison enters the body through a wound, such as inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Believe that the toxin could have application as anesthetic. However, solution to respiratory arrest caused as a result of full body paralysis must be found first, or patients would die of suffocation. Interesting.
Yes.
I'll going. See ya. No worries, Lith. See you later. Thank you so much.
Later. HTML 5.
HTML 5.
Cascade style sheets.
Digits 9 volt is so cute. All right. Oh yeah, you.
Yeah, it's one of the characters from WarioWare.
I remember that. We understand you were studying under Dr. Wilson at Yume University, doing research.
At Yume University?
Yeah, it's Yume.
That could mean something else, but Yume is just the Japanese word for famous.
Yeah, I think that's what they intended.
It could be something else.
I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose just for...
It could be like a pun where like it is saying famous, but they use different kanji to write it, so it seems like it's something else.
Well, Luigi, we'll find out if you're right or not. Research by sheer coincidence, perhaps, into a deadly poison.
It's kind of like with Asia University in Tokyo, you know, the school that those kids came from.
Yeah.
The UAP, where it's called Asia University, but they just use a combination of kanji to be A in the name of the university.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a pun.
That's funny. Poison? Where are you going with this, Counsel? A toxin known as Carrere, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
What? What? A complete and utter nonsense. Carrere, you say? I've never even heard of it.
You wouldn't have done.
What do you mean?
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of Carrere before for a very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country. It doesn't exist? Correct. Which means, no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they never identify Carrere. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison.
What?
Order. Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist? According to the report authored by the visiting research student from England, Carrere has long been used by tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists.
To lace their arrows?
The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle. It was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. Gotta hydrate. It claims that animals shot by the arrows laced with Carrere suffered instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett?
Trumpery. These aspirations are other trumpery.
What's trumpery? It's like nonsense again?
Yeah, like silliness, I guess.
Oh yeah.
To start with, if the victim had been administered some of this so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the other diners would have surely noticed.
That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector?
Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that.
Don't remember anything like that either. Didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain. According to this, however, it's the other way around.
What do you mean, the other way around?
The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that the Carrera was used. Explain yourself, Counsel. The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all their strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, they would be in no visible signs of pain at all. How terrible. Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed. Yes, I have my answer. Luigi does. Luigi kind of put two and two together. But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death. The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I've said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail. Respiration? In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. All the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move.
That's hideous.
It's actually really dark, actually. To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly Carrera poison. Everyone went silent. You're suggesting that this bottle, Counsel, actually contains this terrifying poison?
This is all very convenient, isn't it?
Hitherto? Really?
A hitherto unknown poison for which there is no means of testing. What a happy tale for the defense.
If I may. It autoplayed. Wow, that guy just got told. Also, thanks, Sean, for the 20 months. Jesus. 20 months. He's almost at the 2-year mark. Thanks, Matt, for the hydrate. Also, hey, Matt, how you doing? We're finishing up this case. It's getting to the deep parts. Hope you guys are doing well. Save the Pokemon, yeah. All right, doing well. How about you? We're doing well. I was originally going to be playing some Explorers of Sky, but since Carl is not feeling well, he's taking a quick rest stop because he's currently caught cold. He is currently. We're not going to be doing Explorer Sky, which is why I'm going to be finishing up this case, which is the ending of this first case. The first case is pretty long, so if you guys are going to be waiting for like a good hour, it should be ending up soon, where all the pieces come together. Anyway, I'm glad you're doing. Is there order in the court? Yes, there was order in court. Matt, you missed your order, by the way. I ordered for you, by the way, and apparently they just gave it away to some other person because you didn't pick it up in time. I'm sorry, man. Also, I know that Sean is currently can't really listen to me, so I'll probably just like you'll probably be good. Dang, I missed it. I'm sorry, Matt. I ordered you some really good burgers and steaks, by the way, and unfortunately they had to go away. I'm sorry, Matt. Saved the Pokemon and gave me Nixies and the Pokemons.
It is you who must be taught. Oh, of course. Dear
So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it?
What?
You steal another's honest hard work, then announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act.
Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual.
Whatever do you mean?
Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for heinous crime. That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Enough of this! I, for one, refuse to accept it! The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules.
What's so funny?
Oh, excusez-moi, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett.
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Well, yes, I don't see, why not?
Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys.
Sorry?
To an English woman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy.
I forgot about this little detail as well.
But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers.
Wait, what? What are you doing?
No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair.
Peanut butter got stuck in my teeth. Pain. Better get those teeth checked, Door. How are you doing, Door? Also, I like how you change your name to HTML5, Jeff, Kyle.
Yeah.
Goodness. Whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned.
So, no Carrere. The bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying?
You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course, that's the simple truth.
What happened there? I want to re-look at that. I'm saving that. Did the masks just like teleport up? Because I just saw like... I'm pretty sure just like it was just my imagination, honestly, but I'm gonna look at that. I'm good making mac and cheese right now. Are you making the Are you making a toasty, Door again? Like that time where Justin and I did not know what a toasty is?
Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency.
These Americans. She's British. These guys are Japanese. Kyle's American.
Oh, dude, I'm Japanese.
You're Jeff, Japanese. Yes, Miss Brett.
I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've gotten more than enough. I think I've given more than enough time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries.
Ah, yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all your assistance you have given. Oh, Mac is ready. Your beat. No worries, Door. This doesn't make any sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. So how did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it.
Well, I suppose if nothing else, this little far eastern charade will make for an interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London.
There has to have been poison in that bottle. Doesn't there? But there can't have been, because otherwise she would have keeled over dead. Come on, Ryunosuke. We have all the clues now. The bottle of water contains poison. The culprit did put career poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position. You're serious?
Fool! Are you blind? There is absolutely no way the bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw
Miss Brett drinking the water from it?
That's right. Which rather complicates your argument, I think.
I believe that complication can be explained.
how exactly?
I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, at one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be. Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert this claim, then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explained about how the witness was able to consume the supposed poisoned water unscathed? She didn't swallow it. Door, there's actually something else to it that I will present to this whole thing, because if we're sticking with the poison, there's a little bit more details to the poison that was presented in this report. The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report. She a spitter. Nah, she's not. She's a swallower. Which sounds weird, actually, if you say it like that.
Not a valid explanation.
No? Kinky. Of course you would say that, Matt.
After all, we don't speak English. That report is utter gibberish. This impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency.
I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, you're honest. I'm just reading Susato's-san's notes. Kinky. I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You will direct us to the pertinent section, counsel. Which section of the report reveals the alleged answer to the riddle? Which one was it again? Special characteristics. We've been hearing a lot about this Carrera poison. And it's left me curious about something. Oh, counsel? Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years to lace the heads of arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. So we've been led to believe, yes. And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat it.
Get to the point, please.
But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean they would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat? Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, wouldn't they? Because then they'd be eating poison. Good gracious, counsel! No, that would be madness! But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Through a wound, you say? I see. That makes sense. Yes. The mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When the Carrera enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poison effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poison effects whatsoever.
What?
Miss Brett, you authored this research. You knew Carrera's special characteristics. You knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking the water without any danger to yourself.
You meddling little rapscallion!
Well, Ryunosuke, it turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer?
All this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure, but I fail to see how it possibly... So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly.
What are you trying to say?
Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw. Schoolboyish?
Flaw.
As even your brain has managed to deduce Carrere is as safe to ingest. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric succus.
Oh, yes, well, of course. Gastric suckers? What are they?
So, if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he? That's right.
Good gracious!
That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no?
Order in the court. The logic holds. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected in the same way.
Are you trying to suggest...
Yes, this Carrere poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial. That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that.
Luigi seems to got it.
What is this welling up inside me? I've never felt like this before. It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like.
And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey.
Objection.
Could be a little bit more powerful in that objection.
I don't
Think so, Miss Giselle. Brett?
How dare you use that tone with me?
You know very well that there is no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead. Of course Matt gets bonked. I was just gonna bonk Sean. Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you, you must provide compelling evidence. As we now know, the poison is completely harmless when it just ingested. Bonk Paragon. Bad him. Don't ban Matt. He good boy. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by Carrere? Because there was something that happened to him that day. As Miss Brett has readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. Don't know who Kinky is. I don't know. I can't ban a mod. That's also true. A fatal difference. The toxic effects Carrere are only affected when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So, for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water?
Inside?
Yes, like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. No horny jail. Miss Brett, you acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. So that's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she laughing?
I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are also
puerile. Is it puerile, Kyle? Is it puerile or puerile?
Spell the word.
Puerile.
Puerile.
Puerile, I think. Puerile. Pew. Pew pew. What? What do you mean?
Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it.
No!
I mean, it could just slip. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed.
You can't do that, by the way. That's illegal. No! What is it? What just happened? This English woman. She just smashed that bottle. It's in some cart. What a terrible brand. Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect as much water, broken bottle as possible at once.
You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you, it will soak up the water beautifully. You neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it.
How could you? You won't get away with this.
You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we, if there really was poison in the bottle or not.
You.
And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact.
Isn't that right, counsel of the prosecution?
Oh, of course, of course. You're referring to the photographic print, I presume, dear lady? That's right. And really, looking at this photograph, it's clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. Oh, so of course the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
No, you killed the victim that day using Carrere. And then, in order to frame Ryunosuke for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor and his chair around. See? You had every opportunity to commit this crime.
And what a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence.
Exactly. And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution stance remains unchanged.
The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivering in cold blood by the accused Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
It's unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her, but now is she really going to get away with it? The way she destroyed the evidence was obscene. Ryunosuke. Yes? We've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it. What? What do you mean? We've lost the vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head. In my head? You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing that you could really depend on. Yeah, yes, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head. Check her facts for the gun ownership. That's different. That's different on the whole different scale. Plus, we don't know what a gun is. So, think back again now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color and every smell. What I saw, what I felt, every color, It's Kazuma, right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head. Could there be another clue to expose the identity of Wilson's killer? There's nothing. Actually, Kazuma. I want to show you my badge. I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on, then. Let's wipe the smile off that English woman's face with some new evidence. All right. Can't wait. Blood on his plate. That was the picture. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories all of that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all this. It's here somewhere. The clue shows who Dr. Wilson's killer must have been is.
Take that!
Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. Yes? Yes. What is it? He's still miles away, probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you said a number of times, you strive for perfection in your investigation, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day?
Wait a minute. Where are you going with...
Where are you going with this, little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. A memory? I saw the scene shown in the photograph print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a splatter of blood.
What?
Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, and there's no way the blood on the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Yes. The blood to have made it on the plate, it implies the plate has been between the victim and the shooter, which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite of the professor as you were. Jezebel. Brett. I beg your pardon? Jezebel, Brett. It's not Jezebel, but it's a play on words.
This is beyond fabrication. This is beyond ridiculous. Fabricated nonsense. Is this the court seriously expected to believe something the accused has apparently just remembered seeing?
This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean... Yes, I took the plate in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it. Kyle, isn't meat... You have to refrigerate meat. So if you took this meat and did not refrigerate it, it would be already moldy and all that stuff.
It would be rotten and gross, yeah.
For 3 days, by the way.
Ew. Ew.
EU, as Grace would say.
Ew.
You did what?
I took the steak that you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. He took both steaks. And I did it all in the name of justice. It's a weird sense of justice, by the way. Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it now. Inspector, the court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're getting close, guys. Sorry for the delay. Here is what you ordered. The steak. Cool. Can I have my drink too? Oh, what about the blood? Is there blood on it?
Of course there isn't.
Quickly, Spectre. The blood, man. Show the court. Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure. No. No blood. No blood anywhere. But no. That's possible. I know I saw it. I'm sure of it. It was right there behind the table behind the plate. There was blood on the side of the plate.
What an unbecoming expression, little boy. You see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you.
It's very racist against Japanese people, I must say, Kyle.
The British person?
Yeah.
I mean, what time period does this take place?
This is literally during the time where the British and the Japanese made a treaty, like literally like a few years after that, or like just when they just did it.
I don't know the time period that would be, but probably like Meiji era or something.
Probably. I don't know. Maybe Grace would know. I know Kyle, not Kyle. Carl knows it. I just don't remember.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying like maybe Grace knows. Maybe Justin knows because he has seen this part. I don't remember what era, but it is actually during that era. Blood would easily go into the wood. That's also true. Yeah.
Tisk, I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire.
I believe we may finally reach the conclusion in this trial.
Let's hope so. This let's pretend attempt of the court proceedings is painful to watch. But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's all over. Ha! This sorry look steak reveals the fact that all too clearly. If the sorry-looking excuses wishes to examine it again, be my guest.
The plate steak has been entered to the court record. Was the plate I saw, or I thought I saw, just a figment of my imagination? This is it now. I've lost. Ryunosuke, it's not over yet. Not until the final gavel. Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what. I believe in myself. Really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself. As evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection? That bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all? As true to Phoenix Wright's fashion, you gotta keep pressing. Your Excellency, please wait. This plate of beef is hiding another clue. Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth.
The only thing that's shocking is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak. Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary prosecution to the trial. Bleh.
Was it? Procrastination of this trial. Bleh. I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm clearly satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it?
Thank you, Your Excellency. Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show the court of what you are alluding. Where precisely the beefsteak is this new clue to be found? Huh? What in the world is this? I think it's a Koban coin, and the hallmark is from the Hoei era, I believe. No. I don't mean what is it? I mean, what is it doing here? Wait, did you say it was a Hoei Koban? Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable. This isn't the first time today that there's been talk of a Hoei Koban. I heard of pearls before swine, but I've never heard of a bullion in the bullion. Ha! Bullion. Bullion. I don't think you ever will again. It's extraordinary, though. This means... Got it! Good gracious, that's...
Koban?
What on earth? A Hoei era one at that. Miss Brett, this is in fact the steak that you ordered at the restaurant on the day in question, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat?
What ridiculous question that? How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't even know what it is. What? But I want no part of it. I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin underneath the meat? That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef in the moment of destruction.
Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen? A rare Hoei Koban that just happens to be hidden underneath a piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now. He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency. Yes, Counsel? A rare Hoei Koban just happens to be underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now.
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway.
Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is relevant. Even though I'm the one on trial here. The point is, this essential that we ask the owner of this coin if we can explain what it's doing under that steak. The owner? Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of the Koban that was found underneath the beefsteak is... I think we all remember from last week about the two idiots. As it says. Obviously, it can only be the antiques dealer and owner Rasu Te Kirio Kore Kuta-san. God dang it, I cannot speak Japanese. Kirui? As in Mr. Cucumber something? Is Kiri is a cucumber?
Yeah, I think so.
Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable. Ah, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct? Yes, Your Excellency. I remember him saying that he was up to something with his Koban when it happened, at the exact moment the gun was fired.
The gunshot interests me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure. Indeed, the Hoei Koban, my prized coin.
Then the Hoei Koban. Do you mean to tell me?
No, please. Why would Korekuto-san's Koban be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and its plate? It makes no sense.
Which is why I'm asking to bring Korekuta-san back to the witness stand so we can ask him. Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay. Can't believe we've come back around to that pair again. But I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find that it's a key element in the case. Baby. What's this all about? Why have I been called up again? Don't you realize it's dinner time for little baby Idol? My son's belly is empty. He's fiercer than a pack of wolves.
Exploited by the police, we were. Like miserable dogs, forced to bear false witness. And then cast from this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in a trice. A worthless, withered antique. Nothing more I have to say. The sun has set on this Rosute shop owner's existence.
Be that as it may, Karututa-san, something has come up to light that requires your clarification. As far as Rosute memory serves, have you ever... Oh my god, he just stabbed his foot.
Yeah, that's it. The very exact one that it is. There is resplendent, splendiferous highway of treasure are that rusty bows managed to misplace that fateful day. It can't be.
As I thought.
Young man, enlighten me to the script bit, old fool. Put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped?
Oh, I'm not sure it was dropped anywhere. We found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat juices.
Sandwich? Soaking? Seriously?
Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident, which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose.
Somebody concealed my Hawaii treasures between a slab of meat and a metal plate. Who would do such a thing? Such an consensual thing?
Excuse me. Could I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga. I mentioned this earlier on the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case.
Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation.
Le Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeted the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau. Wicked crimes indeed. We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected. So that's why you were sent in undercover, is it? Yes, I took on a job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that this Koban incident is the work of the same thief. So, unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at the work at the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Korukuta-san's Koban is all too clear.
What? What?
I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on the matter. Tell us, who is this despicable scoundrel that stole Korukuta-san's Koban and hid it on the steak? It was Ouchie, because I hate him. I think we have a suspected guess. It's Hosonaga. Nah, it's not.
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant Iyasa Nosa. What? How? How dare you? You monster! Monster? I stole that Koban, did I? I'm the master thief of Le Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of all these crimes, cadet? It wasn't me, it was Ido. Ido's the mastermind behind this. So the baby, who is like barely like 1 or 2 years old, did all this. Got it. This baby genius's movie at all this again now. You would push a blame for your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. Clippity cloppity, clippity cloppity, clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop. Yuck. Oh, his back broke. Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Isanosa preparing to stand down to the Supreme Court, sir. Ido. Do any of you know of the extraordinary low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe? I understand the temporary increase in taxation owing to recently ended conflicts remains in place. And I have heard it's hard to lower ranking soldiers to make a living, yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the plate on the table for my son. That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant. The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days I'd go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time. Sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork, even, which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was the old man and his koban. Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped a coin into my pocket without any trouble at all.
Very veritable phantom thief you are.
I was all set to leave the steak. I was halfway through just devouring when it happened. Yes, the professor was shot. I knew that if the police conducted a search, found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. Ido too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could, on the double. I slipped it under the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. Well, he did rendezvous with it at a later date. Just at some place that he didn't expect. This is ridiculous.
Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling your own time.
Well, Miss Brett.
Oh, of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us. Well, I'm quite sure that there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May esteemed gentlemen please be excused, Your Excellency?
Indeed. The theft of the koban was clearly perpetrated by this Baby Sato's sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder.
Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me.
Nonsense, is it? Oof.
And as for picking up your steak and biting it without using a knife or fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness testimony has been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And a good day.
Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming. Oh, no, it's just... something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. Can't quite work out what exactly, but something she just said jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. Something didn't quite add up. If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard. Sorry? You can think later. If you don't call now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over. It explains where the blood went. Wait, Miss Brett. What is it now? I'm afraid. Just one last time. There's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from a few moments ago.
What are you talking about? What contradiction? What new student nonsense is this? hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such a aestheus astounds me. And as for picking up your steak and biting it without using a knife or fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Yes, I'm right. That's what she said. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction. I'm going to need evidence, Counsel. If Miss Brett's words truly are contradictory, where's the evidence to prove it? Okay, so I think it's this one. The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed? Yes, go on. More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Now you're just splitting hairs.
You have no hairs. Not true. Doesn't something about this steak strike you as very unnatural?
Unnatural?
What on earth do you mean? It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett. Noticed what exactly, Counsel? Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no English woman, Matrix man, could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting it without using a knife and fork.
Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself.
Then take a good look at the steak, in particular the edge where it's been eaten. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there. It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if the witness she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry. Whatever you say, dear lady.
As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer.
Of course. This will all over be a blink of the eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Just leave it. I've heard enough. Your irritating little spectacle samurai relic. Of course, dear lady.
What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She realized the catastrophic implication these teeth marks in the steak have for her. Yunosuke, do you know where you're going with this? Yes. Now, at last, it's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks in the steak that had allegedly been eaten with cautery. The reason why blood-stained I know I saw somehow seem to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything?
Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will put beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson.
Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of that phrase, typical Japanese empty threats.
How can you be so sure?
Oh, quite simple.
If you really had such a conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet.
Hasn't been what?
But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already. How? And you say that there's evidence yet to be brought forward? There can't be. I don't believe you have it.
I don't, but there is someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case.
Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about this whole affair? Have you even paid attention to what he said before, though? Answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga. What? I have it? Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on the stake with the teeth marks. Yes. Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoyed chomping my way through a good steak. As well as admitting to stealing Korokuta-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak. You watch your cadet! I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was that the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak? Tension! Affirmative, of course! I might have been a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask for a gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it. In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
But that makes no sense. That plate was taken from the victim's table.
Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin.
Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing be an affront to the entire British Empire.
Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
Exactly. Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two steaks over. You did switch the plates?
Well, after it happened, when I saw the civilian that had been murdered right in front of my eyes, like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my steak and hid the coin underneath it. But then, when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. Well, with military precision timing, I switched my steak with the one on the foreign lady's table.
What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing.
It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. And so yes, I did what had to be done.
Unbelievable!
However, fear not, Prosecutor-san. What now? I swear on the brass buttons on my uniform, that is all I did, sir.
All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
So, if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve evidence, you had you had taken both.
Huh?
That's correct. Then please, present it to the court now. The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot.
What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat, it can't even have the slightest bearing on this case.
No, we're not wriggling your way out of it this time, lady.
You're pretend.
Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why this steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you, no?
You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me.
The reason the defense asked to see the plate was confirm something the defense remembers seeing.
This thinks he remembers.
I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear splattering of blood from the gunshot from the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now, we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating on, Miss Brett. Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Present the beefsteak plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident. Yes, sir. Sorry to keep you waiting. The cat's always keeping you. Kept you waiting, huh? That's a snake quote.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Kept you waiting, huh?
Feeling.
Here is the other steak on its plate. And please feel free to examine it. Bloodstain. It's clearly visible. Look. Now, it makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that at the moment of the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Naruto-san to have shot the victim.
I heard Naruto-san.
Naruto-san.
Believe it.
Believe it.
Tatebayo.
Tatebayo.
It can't be.
In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who the person is. That's right. Miss Giselle Brett. It's you. Now comes for...
Done by a Japanese by a Japanese schoolboy? No, no, no!
Here comes the breakdown.
Yeah!
Oh, I see chickies.
Chicky, chicky, chicky.
I'm not screaming this long.
Choo-choo.
I'm not screaming this long, by the way, guys.
Katon, katon. Katon, katon.
Also, she's dead. She's flying away. What? I forgot that happened. Hey, look, little birds. They're cute. Guys, it's cute.
Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behavior for a gentlewoman. Forgive me.
Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth this time.
Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life using Carrere. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning.
So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water, because Carrere is unheard of here in Japan.
Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of water and it would all be over. I would place my steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table.
And that would be me, I suppose.
Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you decided to come over to greet the professor.
meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment. A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man. I happened to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of Carrere in my handbag and my own pistol concealed under my skirt.
Under your skirt?
So I was right, there were 2 guns. And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. Placed where you were sure that I would notice it. Everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up, that's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I presume Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him into the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor and his chair around. Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson where he picked up the gun. So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. Your Excellency? Yes? I wonder, might I speak with you in private later? I shall call on you. Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san.
It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This cannot be. Takeshi Ouchi does not lose. Not to the likes of this rookie student.
Better start getting used to the tough opposition.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What? Yes?
This is an insult to the Ouchi family name. We will never be forgotten.
You've become conceited with age, Counsel, but the old have to stand aside and make a way for the new. Shouldn't they arrest her? That's what they're planning to do. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. That's dangerous. A 1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Aochi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case. I thank you, Your Excellency. The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. So it's only been a few decades, got it.
but the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that the science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits. But what will look like, I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asoji. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can. Absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. I understand, Your Excellency. What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? Never mind. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, yes. New, I sense? How can I put it? Unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards. Thank you, Your Excellency. It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant Ryunosuke Naruhodo not guilty. How do you say not guilty in Japanese, Kyle?
Oh gosh, what is the word? What's the word for innocent? I'm trying to think. Is it? Oh shoot, is it Muhan? Wait, no. Hold on, let me look at it real quick. It's been a while since I've seen the words for guilty and innocent.
Mm-hmm. This court is now adjourned. And that is case 1. But we got a little bit of after case story. For sure. The post-game stuff. The post-case stuff, I should say. Not post-game. That is for later. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. What's happened? I made it. I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial.
Muzai Hanketsu, innocent verdict.
Muzai.
I got the wrong part of Hanzai. I said Muhan instead of Muzai.
Yep. Not guilty are the words of the day. Yep. You finally pulled it off. Congratulations. Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma. No. It was a pleasure to watch you work at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on the University Street. Don't forget. Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off.
Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence.
Ah, our judicial assistant. You have worked hard for that result too, you know.
Oh no, I didn't do any...
Thank you so very much! If you hadn't had that research report at Miss Brett's, I don't know how things would have turned out.
Your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate.
Your father? Ah, yes, of course. Oh, Grace says that. What was that kanji? I can't read.
I'm installing games on Steam, so I have my browser closed for a while.
I can't read Grace's stuff.
Yeah, 1 second.
I'm just gonna say HTML5 because I just can't read.
CSS.
Yeah.
Forgive me for intruding our court proceedings, Your Excellency.
Mike. Nope. Is that Emoto or Mike?
Oh, Mujitsu. Oh, that can mean innocent, right?
Okay, Mujitsu. Also, I can't tell if it's Emoto or Mike still. I really can't. Because Emoto was using Mike's account, and so...
Me? What does me mean? It could just be Emoto saying that.
Yeah, I think it's Emoto. Because only Emoto would say that. Clearly only Emoto would say that.
Sutsatsu Mikotoba, judicial assistant to the defense.
Wrong. Emoto would say that too. Bruh. Speaking of Mikotoba. Ah, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Mahodo, you did an excellent job. Thank you, Professor. Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you. After all, your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Good friend? Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it? Yes, that's right. Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. There. Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Wilson. Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you worked together? I've never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asogi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. It's Mike Emoto's asleep. Oh. But then again, that Emoto
could we could clarify that.
But then again, Emoto could be pretending to be Mike just to throw us off. If we need a detective, I think Fox, who wears a fedora, can be a great detective. Why not Kyle? He's a detective. I will.
What if I'm off duty right now?
I learn all that I can.
Clock.
Sus Emoto. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan. You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you? Of course I am. A Japanese man's katana is his soul. The blade shows me where I need to go. And it cuts out anything that's in my way. Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes. That reminds me. What happened to the woman? To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder. Oh yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but... What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai. What? Shanghai? Zelbrett will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that. What? Why not? It's a matter of consular jurisdiction. Yep, that's anyway. Inspector Hosonaga. It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must. But what's all this about consular jurisdiction? We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan. What? We can't try her? But then who's going to bring her to justice? A British consular court will hear her case. Somewhere far away where our voices can't be heard. But why a consular court? Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we've signed the friendship treaty. Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right. Then, so as long as this is not a serious incident of highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court just like that. Oh. Can't they? Yes, she's a student, but she doesn't justify our government's making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. I'm afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett.
They are obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously. But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil. This new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. So this is from the 20th century, so this is like the 1800s, Kyle.
Yeah, like the Meiji era was like the latter half of the 19th century.
Yeah.
Which is probably when this was, because that's when Japan was like opening up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know very much about Japanese history, but this is like around the time that it's like post Kenshin, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little bit after Macaroni Kenshin, because that was like the start of the Meiji era.
Okay, after Macaroni Kenshin, got it.
After Macaroni Kenshin. Also, Kami HD is almost finished installing.
Oh, you're going to be playing that on stream? I need to finish that game, honestly.
I'm considering it. I'm just installing some stuff right now to, so I can like test things. The thing about Okami is that I'd like to stream it, but I'm wondering if that game is like too demanding to be able to play and stream at the same time. But I was looking at the system requirements, and it looks like this should be pretty reasonable.
Well, we'll see. Anyway, first off,
I've also installed Rakuin because it's a really quick install.
Yep. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming. We're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. It's evening calls for celebratory drink. But Professor... Alright, there's no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Reno's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, might I suggest Le Carnival? As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you the ample food and drink. You're a detective, Hasanaga-san, aren't you? Let's not worry about the details for now. To Le Carnival! Will you accompany us, Professor? Of course! Le Carnival's food is the second to none. I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruto's son's release. Oh yes, thank you. So Jezel Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma. Yes, Rurunosuke? Just wanted to say thanks again, that's all. You really saved my skin today. I didn't do a thing. You were a lawyer in there, weren't you? The defense was all your own work. Your skills made a difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not sure about that. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during the trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one that's destined to become a great lawyer, not me. What? Come on, be serious. If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it. Being a defense lawyer, I mean. No, oh no, not me. All the tense verbal combat, I never want to go through that ever again. I just did what you told me, that's all, because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean? That's the point. Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? A defense lawyer has to fight for his client. He has to believe in them at all times. Believe like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it. I'm human just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth, but you have to make a choice about what to believe in and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom, you can't really be backed in the corner, but being able to remain faithful to what you chose, believe in, even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your client. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious
little real experience, but you never stopped believing me. Well, you faced something hopelessly situation time and time again, and you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me. Thanks, Kazuma. There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. Sounds serious. What is... you're still here? Are you? Oh, it's Mr. Hosonaga. I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go. Thank you. We'll be right there. Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory. And your study tour into Great Britain. Don't forget. Ah, yes. That too. So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma. Professor Mikotoba. Susato-san acted as my assistant. Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still. Wow. It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through the trial. But more importantly, Cosmo hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. And that is the end of case 1. That took Ward.
Alright, so the game's over, right, Nick?
Yeah, the game's clearly over.
Didn't you already beat it like hours ago?
I did beat it hours ago.
But now you finished all the post-game content too, 100%.
Yeah, I gotta do post-game content, guys. 100%.
No, you did. You just did. You finished it.
Oh, yeah, no, I did, clearly. Alright, guys, GG's. It was a great game. Kyle, you enjoyed the history lessons, right?
Yeah, fascinating. Also, Grace posted the history of Japan in the chat, and I've never seen that video, but I'm pretty sure it's a meme.
It's a meme, but also true. But open the country, stop having it being closed. Yeah. Oh boy, that was a long battle of going through cases. I see Grace has played Wario Get It Together 2 hours ago. First played it 2 hours ago.
Indeed. In fact, she was playing it, and then I messaged her being like, are you going to stream today, or are you too hooked on WarioWare right now? And she was like, LMAO, let me get set up. So I take full credit for any stream that happens today, because I was probably the one who motivated her to do it.
Could have been like, hey...
But she did play up to the point of unlocking Ashley's level, so that's the important thing.
Yep. Well, anyway, that was basically all of what I'm going to be playing of Great Ace Attorney for today. As you can see, that was a long case. That took 4 hours. I think the first time I played this was like 2-3 hours. So that case in total took about 7 hours of just reading the dialogue and everything. And I already knew what happened and everything too. So it just shows that this game is going to be a long one for a long ride. I mean, next case is going to be even longer. I can tell you that. And I can just assume, because I don't know anything after case... I think after case 2, it's going to be pretty long. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Luigi, good job in like actually figuring out partway through it. I didn't want to say anything, but there's a lot of questions still being unanswered to this entire thing. And I hope you guys enjoy the whole spectacle of it, because again, I'm going to be enjoying it more too.